on just a second. Hold on just hold on just a second. Say it's the Hood CNN with your favorite Hood reporter, the Prime Minister of Hood Education, Dr. Monroe. Because I got a PhD in common sense and I'm a 5-star general. Say, man, I want to welcome you to a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening with me, 5-star. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to anger anybody, but normally I do because I tell the truth. This evening, I want to talk about staying on code. Um, I went to an event today, Black Leaders Collective. It's something that was started by Robert Williams, my good friend from Brazoria County. And I normally don't go to these types of meetings with Black leadership because normally it's a waste of time. But when Robert calls me, I'm always at his disposal. I'm always going to be there for what he needs me to be there for. Hold on a second, man. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm coming to you because I went to this beautiful meeting today with some Black leaders, and I really enjoyed myself sitting there listening to people with great ideas on what we need to do to help African Americans in Brazoria County. Um, the one thing that I stressed is we are not on code as Black people. We can't seem to get anything done because, everybody keeps screaming we need to come together. But in all actuality, that's not what some of these people are really trying to do. They're not trying to come together. Now, if January 6th showed you anything, it showed you that white America on that day was on code. Didn't matter if they were right or wrong. They stuck together. What is our problem? Why can't we get on code? It's a lot of reasons why we can't get on code. It's a lot of reasons why Black people won't come together. And the only way we're going to get to that point where we can say we're going to come together is if the truth is told about what we are doing or what we are not doing. It's hard for me to work with disingenuous people. If I know you full of it, I'm not working with you. I'm not doing nothing with you. I don't want to have a meeting with you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't have time to waste. If I feel like you're just in it to get camera times or get likes on social media, I don't want to work with you. Does that stop us from doing what we need to do? No, actually, because that one person wasn't genuine and wanted to actually do what needed to be done. They were doing it for various reasons. Let me tell you something, man. It's a lot of people out there right now. I see my man Rob just came on. I see my man. Let me tell y'all something, man. It's a lot of people out there right now that say they working for Black people. But a lot of these people, I don't see the results. I mean, even if they're minimal results, I can live with that because you can't move a mountain in one day. So it takes time to accomplish the goal. But I can tell if you're really doing the work. I can tell if you're really putting the effort in. And those are the people, if because everybody wants to know, why I don't show up for everything, and why I don't be at the marches or balloon releases. Well, if we were proactive, I wouldn't have to be at nothing because a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. So, the question is why aren't we? Do you know what a glory hog is? Do you know what a glory hog is? I mean, to me, that's a person that's just in the game for themselves. See, we can no longer operate Black America being in the game for ourselves. You'll be exposed very, very quickly. We can no longer get out here and act like we're working for the collective when we're actually working for ourselves. I got stuff going on right now where I'm totally locked in on this situation that I'm doing. Gotta be there every single day. But there is no charge. I'm in it to help my people. Malcolm made a statement that when the revolution starts, we're going to have to get rid of some of our own people. So honestly, in order for us to win the small battles in this revolution, you can't bring everybody to the table. As much as we may want to, some days you just can't. Because some people are not just working for themselves, they're working for the enemy. And the enemy is anybody at this point that wants to slow Black America down from getting what's rightly owed to us. We don't deserve to live in in rundown neighborhoods. We don't deserve to ride on streets that are all torn up. We don't deserve to be racial profiled by the police. But if we don't get the right people in the rooms to have the tough conversations, we can't get anything done. And yeah, there are gonna have to be some tough conversations. I made everybody laugh today. I say, man, we can be like David and Otis. They thought I was coming out the Bible, but no, I was using the Temptations. We'd be like Otis Williams and David Ruffin. We don't have to like each other, but we got something in common, that we love Black people. So whatever beefs it is, you squash them and you move on. I've done it 1,000 times. Because my people are more important, and their survival and these kids' survival, these next sets of generations, they're more important than just me. I think I proved that on a daily basis. They're more important. If I could show you guys, and one day I may do it, the number of pills that I have to take on a daily basis just to keep me up fully functional, it will shock you. But all you see is me working for my people. You don't get to see me in the fetal position at 3 o'clock in the morning in severe pain. You don't get to see the acute arthritis and the bad knee, the ostomy hurting where the bag is on my stomach. You don't get to see that. You don't get to see me on an average only sleep maybe 2 to 3 hours a night. You just get to see the other stuff. And that means I put something ahead of me on a daily. I put these kids ahead of me. A lot of people think I went back to school just to go back because it was a thing to do. I went back to motivate a set of kids. And now I'm inches away from accomplishing a goal, and especially in my family, being the first member of my family to graduate with a college degree. I've already got the associate's degree. I want the whole hog now. So when you can wake up and know your purpose in life, then it's easy to squash the beef. So once we can squash the beefs, then we can get to the real work. But here's the problem. A lot of y'all are scared of the responsibility that comes with the real work. You're afraid of it. You are totally afraid of being responsible for Black America. You're totally afraid of being responsible for your African American community. You're totally afraid of that. And you're not man or woman enough to admit that so that people could help you get to a point where you could navigate it. I put this up because if you know me, you just know me. Robert said Monroe was hurting today. I could tell, couldn't stand for a long period of time, but he stayed for over 3 hours in the interest of in the interest of a Black consolidated voice. Man, props. He's correct. I was hurting. I am hurting 98% of the time, but that's okay. That's okay. I can hurt a little bit so that the next sets of generations don't have to. See, I'm hurting because for a long time, I could not afford health care. It shouldn't be like that in the African American community. And because I lacked the ability to get proper health care, it took a toll on my health. So therefore, I am fighting to make sure that nobody has to go through the things that I go through. You know, the last 6 years, 7 years easily, I've had multiple surgeries, whether they were day surgeries or whether I was in the hospital for multiple days. And honestly, maybe over 10 to 12 surgeries. And all I could think about when I was in the hospital was getting back to the grind, getting back to the fight, making sure that somebody else was in a better position than I was in. That's why when Robert called me, it was easy. So, you know, it is what it is. And in this group, if you guys want to participate in this, the next time we have a meeting, man, just show up. See, that's our biggest problem. We know what we gotta do. You can't win a fight until you show up for it. Y'all got the time. You got the time for everything else. See, the one thing I know about Black people, we make time for what we want to make time for. But for a better situation for us, there should not be a building in the state of Texas that should be able to hold us capacity-wise. We should all be in the building because we got issues on every front. We got veteran issues. We got senior issues. We got educational issues. We got mental health issues. We got issues on every front. But yet we're not showing up for the fight. But then when something happens, we are the group that always needs the most help. Let a natural disaster happen. Let a flood or a hurricane come through. We need the most help. We always need the most help because we're not taking care of our business. We're not taking care of our business. This group is not about political affiliations. And that's what kind of drew me to it. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's not about that. And see me, I don't do when I'm working for my people, I don't do the labels. What you mean you don't do the labels? Before I'm anything, before my political affiliation, before I'm a Republican, before I'm the Central Region Minister of Politics for the new Black Panther Party, I am a black man that's in America that's targeted on a daily basis. I'm black before I'm anything else. And the reason we can't accomplish our goals is because we don't want to stay on code. We don't want to show up for the fights. Whether it's Brazoria County, Pearland, Freeport, whatever, Angleton, black people should be in those city council meetings. Black people should be in those commissioner court meetings. Black people should be in those school board meetings. But we don't show up. And then when it gets bad, that's when we want to show up. Black people don't show up for school board meetings till they want to close the black schools. By that time, it's too late. By that time, it's too late. It's just too late by that time. Right now, my school is struggling academically. My alma mater is struggling. I don't do no talking. I'm there every day. And it's the summertime, and I'm there every day. I'm mentoring kids. I'm talking to kids. We're not doing this year. I want more from these kids because I know that they're not dumb at all. But if somebody doesn't step up to the plate, and Robert Williams stepped up to the plate today, State Representative Ron Reynolds stepped up to the plate today, Fort Bend County Attorney Bridget Smith Lawson stepped up today. Faith-based leaders were in there, as well as just regular entrepreneurs and people that are concerned with the trajectory of Black America as it pertains to Fort Bend County. You feel what I'm saying? And if you're trying to understand what we're doing or what Robert is trying to accomplish or what we're going to do as a group, then bring your behind to the next meeting, take the template back to your city or county and duplicate it. That's what it takes. Because you black folk that are only concerned with your 40 acres in a mule, your house and your car, you're about to have problems. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Y'all hold on a second. It's definitely coming. And then you're going to need somebody to stand up for you. I'm sitting there, I'm listening to Rob today. This is a country boy at heart. And he's talking about the farmers needing help. Then don't you think we should be growing our own stuff? We should have our own farmer markets in our communities. Where we can buy stuff from here, homegrown. That's what we need to be doing. But if you're sick and tired of the state of Black America, you're going to stop what you're doing. You're going to attend these meetings. Yeah, I'm challenging you. You are going to attend these meetings. Thunder said most people who are trying to build something will have conservative values. They may have, but that's not what this is about. This is about Black people. I want to scare the hell out of you. Do you clearly understand why the educational component is not working? Tiffany Campbell wants to know when is the next meeting, Rob. I think it's in a month, Tiffany, but he'll put out the flyer and then I'll send it over to you. You want to know why education is not working in America for the black kids? See, there's two mysteries that have always dumbfounded me. One, where did they hide Jimmy Hoffa? And then two, how? How did all the black kids in America get dumb at the same time? This was a cold, calculated plot to destroy a generation of people. And the way that you destroy them is you destroy the youth first. Do you know how many kids are walking around that can't even spell their damn names? Do you know? Do you know how many kids that are in the 12th grade and they're reading on a 6th grade level? How does that happen? How do they allow this to continue? The school to prison pipeline would not exist if the school system was not in bed with the prison system. That's how this works. Education has been the key to freedom, according to Thunder. Let me put this comment up. So let me scare the hell out you, because y'all that don't know, you got to know your history. One of the worst mistakes that we made in our history was integration. Before you decided that you needed to go to a school that was not all black, we were pumping out more lawyers, doctors, major engineers. When we had our own educational component, where our own people who understood us could educate us, we were doing far better. We owned more property. This is how a lot of y'all ended up with property from your great grandmothers and all this. We owned more property than we could ever imagine. But instead of you holding on to that property in 2022, you trying to get to the LeBurg Casino in Lake Charles, so you selling the property. You need to sit on it. They didn't give it to you. The reason you got it because they never sold it. But see, we got tricked into integration. And then once we got tricked into integration, it's been downhill ever since. Another reason that we, as an African American community, are really behind the 8 ball because we don't know how to run the relay. I lit the cigarette on that one. We don't know how to run the relay. Well, what you mean run the relay? You got to know when. Hold on a second. The reason that we're behind is because we don't know how to run the relay. And what that means is we don't know how to pass the baton. In that room today, I was captivated because you had young minds in that room. You damn right these young people need to be heard from. They got better ideas than you could ever imagine. But you know what? Those that have the baton, some days they don't want to give it up. Yeah, some of y'all have some old, outdated ideas on how to deal with Black America. And some days you need to give up that baton. And I'm going to be honest with you. The reason that those voting numbers are so low at a certain age bracket, because the people that are in charge, those youngsters can't see the work that you say you're doing. See, it's cool to say that you do the work. We hear that every day. We hear people say they do the work every day. But when those youngsters can't see the work, they don't want to do nothing. They ain't voting. They don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to have a conversation. None of that. Because they feel like you BSing. So how do we fix it? Robert Williams has a starting point. The Black Leaders Collective. That's the starting point. But the kicker here is everybody brings value to the room. Everybody brings value to the room. That can be the youngest child in there to the oldest person in there. And I think it will work just perfect if everybody agrees to play their positions. And that's how you start winning the small battles. But you got to put, how would Otis say it? Nothing is bigger than the group. So if you want to be David Ruffin in this, you too gonna get kicked out. You want to be Bobby Brown, you're gonna get kicked out of here. You have to play your position. You have to play your position. So I'm not gonna hold y'all. I gotta work on a couple of things and but I had a good time today. And it was really a joy to be in a room with like-minded people who didn't have a political agenda. Wasn't no politicians in the room except for a couple of them, and I've worked with them tons of times. I know their hearts, and they really want what's best for our people. I want something better for my people. You know, the old people, they had some short-term and long-term goals, and one of those goals were they wanted us to get the right to vote. Another one of those goals were, and you should have saw the tears, there's a lot of them wanted to live to see the day when a Black man would be president. They got that. So my goal is simple. I want to see Black America get it right. And I want everybody to know one thing, that once we get it right, the power that we hold, they can't do anything with us. They would have to really line it up at that point and fix the things that need to be fixed. The Montgomery bus boycotts lasted 384 days. And their goal was accomplished. They bankrupted the Montgomery County transportation system because Black people got on code. Think about what that means, do some research on it. And then Ragnar, let me put your comment up. Yet the Black president did nothing for Black people. I love you, brother. You're from where I'm from. So can you tell us what you've done for them? This is why I'm telling some of y'all, ain't no sense of you coming to the meeting. It ain't no sense of some of y'all showing up. You black on the outside, you're mixed up on the inside. Before you anything, you black. And don't make them remind you of that. It's the Hood CNN with your favorite hood reporter, the Prime Minister of Hood Education, Dr. Monroe. Because I got a PhD in common sense and I'm a 5-star general. And you know I'm getting my undergrad right there at the world famous Lamar University. Let me go back and so I can give y'all the date. It's going to be Sunday, tentatively scheduled Sunday, August 7th at 12:30 p.m. And he'll let us know exactly where, let's say, where we need to be. And Robert said this: black people got on code. They did. Let me tell you something. Get on code. I don't care who you are, who you're affiliated with. If you take the black dollar out of the economy, they're going to give us everything we want. Question is what do we want? If black people stop spending their money, it's going to be some act right in this country. If black people start holding their votes, it's going to be some act right in this country. See, I ain't going to never forget the days that I was racially profiled. And I was racially profiled back in the day in Brazoria County. I ain't going to never forget. So I don't have to go back to slavery to prove my point. It's been happening to me forever because I always had a fly car and I always dressed fly. Get on code. Stop playing around with this. Get on code. And if you need an example of how to get on code, go look at January 6th, when white America had enough, regardless of what you think, whether they were right or wrong. They got on code. Until tomorrow, I'll holler at you.